Good afternoon, everybody. It's wee Paddy from across the shop, and you're at a funny angle at the minute because I'll show you later why, because I'm going to be bringing you down so that you can see me sharpen a knife. I promised you I would sharpen this knife, or one of the two knives that I got, so I'm using this one because it was the worst one when it came. And I can just show you how well it cuts. Doesn't cut great. It'll cut a wee bit, but not great. This is an A.Wright knife, and there's nothing wrong with this knife. It's absolutely perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect and it's not perfect. These knives are made very, very cheaply. They're made quickly and cheaply on a factory floor by people. It's sharpened by a human hand. Well, and I say sharpen loosely. Sometimes you'll get a really sharp one or a working edge one. This one's not even that, and that's why I wanted to show you how to sharpen it. But don't automatically think, oh, this is a bloody shit knife. Look at the state of this edge. This is somebody that does zzzt, zzzt, all day long. That's all they do, is doing that, and it's literally just putting an edge there, putting a bevel that you can see, that when you want to sharpen it, you just follow it. That's how it all should come. If everything in the world was beautiful, but it's not. They literally are made really quickly, and they make very, very little money on these knives. By the time they take materials, manpower, which are paid full wages, there, go figure. This is a twisted assisted version. They had a clip point, which they've run out of at the minute. There's more coming. Just not sure when they're going to get here. But there's still some of these left. And this is the lamb's foot. And it's in natural micarta. And it's just lovely. I love this with natural micarta. I'm a micarta fan. Yeah, I was sort of going off it, but on this pocket knife, I absolutely love it. It's durable, it's grippy. You don't have anything to stop yourself on these running up on the blade. So there's lovely grip on micarta, and even if it gets wet, it grips better. So I want to show you the edge on this. There we go. I'm going to show you this. So there you go. That edge is not too bad looking. You can see until you get up really up close to it. And if I want it at the top here. Let me just show you. The edge has not been done right. It's very narrow up at the top. I'm trying to turn it so you can see. You can see it where it nearly turns down into the edge. On the other side, and again, I'm not doing this to run them down. This is just the way they come. Look at this one, right? It's exactly the same. It starts low here, comes up really high in the middle, and back down low on the other side. That's what I'm going to get rid of and get a nice flat edge so that I can get that V grind on the blade. This is just a flat grind blade and might be a little bit of hollow in it, but this doesn't matter for what I'm going to do now. These knives are working knives. You're paying, I mean, this one with the micarta and all is about £45. That's nothing. This will last you a lifetime. This has a pull of about 9.5. It's that, and I mean, I've got really strong nails and I'm on the verge of bending the nail back. I love that. Now, some people don't particularly like that. They will soften over time if you're going to use it a lot and open it and close it. But I love that in this knife. It's really, really beautiful. And I'll show you once I've finished. I'll show you how much it takes for me just to open this knife. But again, this is a working knife. This isn't a play around knife. This is just a knife that's made for work. So what am I going to use to sharpen it today? I'm going to use my incredibly thin, incredibly cheap. I've got a 400 and 1000 diamond. Do you need diamond for these knives? No. I brought out, you can get like a carborundum stone, the old-fashioned carborundum stone. There's actually a hole in the middle of that, but it's been there from the beginning. So there you have your rough side on here, which you can see there's hardly any use, and this side is the smoother side. That's what I will sharpen. C70, 1095, anything like that. I'll just throw it, I'll wet it, throw it in the bucket in the sink for a couple of minutes, and then I get a mixture of mineral oil, just a wee drop of mineral oil, a little tiny drop of dish liquid, dishwashing up liquid, tiny drop of that, and a sort of half a cup of water. And then what I do is use my fingers. When I'm doing it, I'll just keep wet. It keeps the surface wet and lets you slide across it perfectly. That's what I'll use when I'm sharpening these knives up. But I'm in my little knife room. My wife's in the kitchen, she's ironing, so I'm afraid it's like everything else. Make, do and mend. You do what you've got around you, so that's what I'm going to do today and show you how to do it. And hopefully you'll enjoy the ride. I'm not going to make it shorter. Well, it'll not be that long because these do cut easily. It's C70, carbon steel, cuts easy. But because there's such a degradation up at the top here, and there's like a real bit of it's nearly, it's nearly down to the bare knuckle at the top. It hardly touches at all. So I'm going to do that anyway. We're going to bend you down now, and hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about when I'm doing the sharpening. Okay, that should be pretty good for you, and sit at a weird angle as I am in front of it. So, right, for me, because I'm a sharpener, I just go ahead and I sharpen. I want to, I'll show you more. I know that this bit at the tip here, that's the bit that I want to sort out and then give a nice edge all the way along. One side of it, like I showed you, this side has a huge big bevel where it was big. It's been over sharpened in the middle, so he has leant into it, leant in and then come off it sort of early and hasn't caught the end. That's all that is. So this is a knife that doesn't need to be pretty. And this is why these are great work knives. They'll just come, and it'll come pretty quickly. So what I'm going to show you, I'll use a marker. I want to fix this tip first. It's the bit that's bad. Back here and all the way up is not too bad, except for one side has that, it's been overground. I'm not going to fix that today. I'm just going to bring the knife to an edge. That can come away with time. So it's this edge here that I want to fix. That one's not too bad, that edge, but I'm going to fix this edge on this side. So when I'm starting to do it, I get my angle. And when you know you've got an angle is when you can hear the difference? So lay your blade down flat, lift it up, and if you feel you're cutting the surface, you can hear it cutting. Light pressure, really light pressure. So I want to do the tip, but I also want to keep the angle the same from here when I get up to there when I'm doing a bit of extra work. So there you are, I can feel that cutting, and that's where I want to do back and forward. I have my thumb at the back here, it's leaning on the stone and it's holding the blade, not holding, it's just putting pressure, so I'm keeping that angle the same. Can you see that? My thumb is on the end there. I've leant it down, I lift it up, I feel as if it's cutting, and once I get to here, I don't lift my hand or anything, just all I want to do is catch the edge of this blade to bring it up. That's it coming already, so there we go, it's coming up now. So can you hear that? So that's it, the 1000 grit stone. So now, I don't know when you can see that already. Can you see the way this is not as skinny as it was in the first place? It's really hard to show on camera, but it's not as skinny. You'll just have to take my word for it. So to be honest, if you weren't here, I'd be doing this here. But I'm just doing it. This is the way I like to do it. I know I'm coming across when I don't need to. But the biggest part that I want to get is the top part of the knife where it hadn't been ground particularly well. Now, that's not bad at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to feel on this side to see if I've got a burr. I want to use the very end of my nail and I put it on the bevel, and I need to feel that there's a little bit of wire folds over, and I want to feel that and see if that's getting where it's supposed to get. And it's all the way up. So I can change over and do this side. And again, I don't need to do much on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'll get it and I'll pull it and just start gently, and you'll feel it cutting, because you can feel the diamonds. It's rough, so you can feel it cutting. And again, once you get to know it, you can do it like this. I mean, that's the way I'd be doing it. So, but just when you're starting out, if you're doing this sort of cutting, just run it smooth. This is 400 grit, so this will actually take plenty of metal off. So that's why we don't want to use it for too long. We just want to get it cutting. You'd be amazed how quickly the burr will come up on these knives. You'll not be that amazed because it hasn't come up yet. Right. And again, I'm not pushing down. These fingers are just sitting on it. They're not applying any other weight than just my hand sitting on them. Right up to the end. And that's a great way to, you can actually hear the wire. As you're coming along, I'm going to bring this up here. There's a wee bit at the bottom here, it's not burring over properly, so I'll lay my finger here and just do that slightly back and forward, and my finger's just laying there and it's just getting back to that back edge because it was just coming over. That's it over now. Simple as that. It's really sharp. So I've finished with the stone. It's done what I wanted to do, so it's brought it down to an edge. I've got a nice edge there that I can work from. This is the 1000 grit going in now. And like, these are dirt cheap. You get the both of them for, that's only a couple of pounds, honestly. It really isn't dear at all. Go on to Amazon. Don't buy the first one. Keep going down a wee bit and you'll get exactly the same ones a little bit further down, and they're usually cheaper. So my burr is on the other side because I was coming this way, so I'll restart on the 1000 on the side that has the burr. Let me show you just what it's like now that it's been cut. This is, you can see that here. Can you see the difference already? That's just on a 400 grit with very little use, and it's already brought it down to a cutting edge. Now, it's a rough work cutting edge, do you know what I mean? It's not something I would be happy with, but it's nearly all the way down. There's a big burr there, so it's not going to cut right. So I'm going to start here. So I just go back and forward. This is 1000 grit, so this will not take as much off, so I'm not worried. So again, it's that simple thing, finger on the edge, thumb on the back, and then it doesn't move. You just pinch them two together ever so slightly, and then you use this hand to tilt the blade up or down, right? So there's no pressure on these. So I like going across, even though this is a very, straight edge. I like just going across. It's my thing. I feel as if I can feel myself getting the whole blade. And again, this is 1000 grit, and especially for these, that's plenty to take your edge off it. So it's a nice clean edge down the side. It's not particularly straight. It is wavy where that bit was on it, so there's nothing I can do about that at the moment. Gosh, that's nearly there already. Nearly there. And like, these are old. I don't use water in these. I suppose you're supposed to use a bit of water. I don't, so this isn't even 1000 grit anymore. It'll be even higher, but that's what I like it. It's quite, it's nice for this. And the thing with these, when you're using them, keep changing over and using the other side. Otherwise, one wears away quicker than this side. So I can feel that burr is all the way down the knife. That's super. That means I'm getting that V. It's folding it over. So now I'm going to start on this. Sorry, the V's in. There we go. The V's here. So I'll go on this side. Again, with my thumb, I'll get it on the board. I move my shoulders back and forth so the knife doesn't move. I just keep my hands solid there. I've been trying to find ways of teaching people how to do it, and if I rock back and forward gently and just hold the blade, you can see that blade doesn't move. Right. There's a little bit of the tip there, right at the tip. So I'm going to lift it up a little bit just to get that tip looking cleaner. Oh, you can just see it there. Now we're getting there. Again, there's no pressure. I'm just lifting it so that the blade itself is off the ground here. And I'm just trying to get the tip where it's just not met properly. So that's nearly it now. And I find it quite hard to talk and do this as well, so excuse my videos are never great. I'm not a super sharpener. I just know how to get an edge on a knife. I very, very rarely would take a knife to mirror finish, because to me there's absolutely no point. If I've shined it up that much, one cut on a piece of cardboard and you're back there working edge again. So, you know, especially on these lesser blades, the carbon steels. But again, that's the benefit of them, that they'll not last as long, but they're so much easier to sharpen. And a strop will normally, if this had a good edge when I'm starting the day's work, if I strop during the day, or even in the house, if I strop it, and when I've finished, strop, put it away after being stropped. Don't leave it. And that way you've always got a sharp blade, and it'll last you for, well, I can feel that coming now. I can feel it coming now. So I'm now going to change over. And this is just the way I do it. I know people count down from 10 and all. I just go one side at a time. And you're still trying to get to hear that it's slicing the top off this. And that's what I'm trying to do. Skim the top of this. I'm not trying to dig into it and get the diamonds to work quicker. I'm just trying to get the edge. You can hear the edge. There's not a grating sound now because it's a much smoother surface. And I just literally flick my thumb over, and my fingers are doing the same thing at the back as they are at the front when I'm doing it. Right, let me just see. This is it really is just a quick and dirty. I just do it nice and simply, no pressure at all, because the diamonds really will take away way too much metal. Right, let's see how we're getting on here. I'll just give that blade a wee wipe. Let's see how we're getting on. See what I mean? It's so quick. There we go, right down to that tip. Absolutely fine. So once I've done that, then I take it out of the way. And it is this simple. And just to say, oh, that's all right for you, Paddy. All you got to do is practice them steps. You know, when you're holding a blade, it's just down at the edge here and at the back, and that holds your angle. So when you're moving it up and down, you hold the angle. When you get to the other side, it's exactly the same procedure again. Get at the angle that you can feel it cutting, then put your finger at the back, your thumb at the front, and there you've got that angle. And it only has to be nearly. It doesn't have to be 100% proof, you know, 100% to get you to cut. Sometimes, well, nearly every knife that's sharpened, one side's going to be at a different angle than the other. What you're trying to do is minimize it so that it looks aesthetically pleasing up the side. But in a working knife, who gives a monkeys? You're just going to cut things, take it out of the garden, cut your weeds, bring it back on again. So again, I'm doing this, and when you're stropping, it is no pressure. And because this is completely flat, I don't have to lift. I just started. I still like to do this motion. I don't know why it is. It's because I do it with my other harder steels. I just like to get it from tip to finish, or tip to heel. I like to just keep it. That's the way I do it. And so you can see that, no pressure at all. And you can, sometimes you can actually see the marks on the leather itself. There's green paste in this. Again, I'm not over fussy. You can do it whatever way you want. You can do it that way, but just don't press hard. And once you get near what you think is going to be the end, literally so light, feather light over the top, and this just really gets that edge sharp. So when you get that initial cut, because how many times are you taking a knife out, and most of the day it'll be to do one cut. Not the end, I hope. Not. There you go. Absolutely perfect from heel to tip. Perfect knife. They're so easy to sharpen. So don't be cross or angry when you get the come and they're not particularly sharp. It's a working knife. Learn how to do simple sharpening like this. Just really basic, simple sharpening. Well, there's no pressure involved. You're just running a blade up and down. You're feeling for that little bit of wire that's come round the top. With the very tip of your fingernail, just go down the bevel right to the edge of the blade, and you'll feel it when it's curling over. And it doesn't take any time at all to do it when you're using these stones. The 400, you'd only ever need to use this if you're reprofiling. That 1000 is absolutely fine for everyday use. Just do not dig into them, because these are not expensive stones. They've no real, once they go, they've gone. And they can go, depending on how well they're bonded in, they can go quite quickly. So the lighter the pressure, the longer the life you're going to get out of them. But these are great because if you ruin them, it doesn't matter. If you ruin a good stone, you're talking £100 down the drain rather than the, £2 or £3 this costs. So there you go. It's a really sharp knife. I wanted to show you, right, even to break this is hard. Listen to this. Oh, flipping heck. Can you imagine your finger in there? Again, the nice thing is it's not going to break on you easily. So look, there's a real deep nail nick in these. And the reason it is because they can go from an average of 7 to, this is 9.5. I'm going to put my nail in here. Now, I could have done it faster, but I didn't want to. But listen to this. It's so solid. To bend that from there is next to impossible. That is as hard as I can push it. That's not going to close on you, and that's why they're so good. I love the strong pull. If you're a workman, you'll get it open. And if you've no nails, you eat your nails, or whatever, just get a little nail. I'll show you in the next video. I haven't got one here, have I? No. Let's see where I've got something here, but where it is. No. But what you can do is, I've got little small nail nick openers. You can get them from Rough Rider, about £7. And what you're doing is, oh, there we go. Let me just show you. The nail nick's there. You put that on one side of it. You thumb on the other side of it. Once it's in, I'll close it up and show you. Listen to this. I love that sound. I think I'm quite weird. Do you not know? Oh no, I agree with you. I'm not. I'm just a wee bit less than average. So you put that in the like forcing it up the waist and then lift. And again, be careful. Hold really tightly at the side of the knife, because you get halfway up and your thumb's in there, you'll not pull it out of the way in time. But there's little small nail nick openers. I'll show you the next time I'm doing a video. So watch out for that, and I'll show you what they're like. I think they cost about £4 or £5, and they're in bone and everything. They're all sorts. So that's what we've got. That's where we are. Knife sharpened in a couple of minutes, and I've been talking all the time. It's 22 minutes and I haven't shut up. So there you go. So get over to Twisted Assistant. He still has some of these left with us. Natural micarta, there's black micarta, and there's G10, I believe. And he will have the clips, the Barlow clip points back in again at some time. Take care. Paddy's away for a lie down and a cup of tea. I hope you enjoyed that. Bye-bye now.